Welcome back to Persona 4 Golden.
Did you find out more about Naoto-kun? I see. So he's being stubborn about the case. But it seems like it's rare for Naoto-kun to get so worked up over something. Okay, I've got a good feel for him. I think I can do this. It won't take long for me to find him with my persona, so be ready to follow me once I do.
What is this place?
It's all sci-fi. Hey, doesn't it remind you of those secret hideouts in live-action shows?
Oh yeah! I used to watch Featherman all the time when I was a kid.
I hear that those are really tough shoots. A lot of the actors do their own stunts, like jumping through fire themselves.
Well, it's every man's dream to do that stuff.
Yeah, I can understand that. They're action-based, like kung fu movies. And just the phrase secret hideout has this exciting ring to it. Actually, when I was a kid, I had my own secret place near the mountain by Yukiko's house. I'd pretend that a legendary kung fu master was teaching me special techniques. Hwata!
Got it all wrong. But hey, so this secret hideout thingy came from Naoto's mind? I guess our proper boy detective isn't as grown up as he looks. All right, let's get going.
Just like every other palace, dungeon, lab, whatever you want to call it, we're not going to go in there just yet. Speak to Risette, select to go to the game. There are some items we need to collect for requests. Go ahead and look, see who I want to add on. When we get done with Naoto's entire dungeon, every character will have learned all their skills. Everyone's going to be around level 80. I don't know if we're just getting a hell of a lot more XP because of the difficulty we're on or what, but we are leveling up way too fast. I think they definitely fixed that in Persona 5 because we don't level up this insanely even on easy difficulty. Okay, so what we are looking for is blind cupids. They drop leaf pochette. We need one. Now, since we have leveled up our social link with Risette, she's got new lines that she will say. If an enemy is weak or immune to something, she will say a line about that, and those are unique lines. She will also, if you have not scanned an enemy or don't know their weakness, when they come up to a character that has their weakness, she will scan it and let you know, hey, this enemy is weak to this thing that you have access to on this character. Why don't you use it? Those are generally the same lines that she says when you're scanning them and seeing what they're weak to, if you've already got their weakness. Next enemy is these birds here. These are Amenti ravens. They drop eternal lamps. We need one of those. So there is one more shadow that we're looking for. Now the shadows that we have gotten so far are found on floors 2 through 4. The last shadow generally spawns on floors 8 and 9, but there is a way to get one early. And I got lucky and got one early, and I'll show you how you do that. Now, because there's very little that we actually have to collect in the game, we will go ahead and show some of the laboratory here as well. But we're not going to be finishing the laboratory in this video. So again, this is split into 2 videos. And fair warning, a lot of battles are going to be prolonged because I'm trying to get lines. This is how you get the third enemy early. Run into a golden hand, and it should, 9 times out of 10, spawn or summon a what we're looking for, which is, as soon as it gets a turn,
One enemy to go. Keep it up. I can't defeat it.
which is a steel machine.
Problem.
These are normally found by themselves on floors 8 and 9. We're on like floor 4 or 5 at this point, so I didn't have to go all the way up the dungeon. This will drop a Ceruleum, which we need. I believe this is the item that our teacher wants us to get. So if you don't run into these facing a golden hand, you're going to have to go up to floor 8 and 9 and look for one. Make sure you have 1 leaf pochette, 1 eternal lamp, and 1 Ceruleum, and then you can return to the entrance once you have 1 of each of those. Speak to Risette and search for Naoto, and you will go to Naoto's laboratory. I wonder if he has a sister named Dee Dee.
Leveled up, did you?
I leveled up.
So as far as the progress on Risette, hardcore Risette fan, we were at 141 at the end of the last dungeon. I don't know where we're at the end of this video, but at the end of this dungeon, we're at 192. So we got 51 new lines. And we've got our final party member, so we can start working on lines with them. And we're getting to a point where we need our party members to get status conditions and have their stats lowered. We do have some tricks for lowering some of our stats and getting some status conditions, so we'll have to start doing that, because I'm not running into enemies that seem to do any status conditions, or if they do, they keep missing even though I'm not immune. Now, fair warning again, there's going to be a few times where I am intentionally dragging a fight out in here because it's an easy way to get some lines. As of this point, at the end of this dungeon, I have every line for everyone being below 50% HP and being dead, including our main character. And yes, this on beginner works just like it does in Persona 3 Portable. Main character dies, everyone heals back up to full HP and SP, and battle continues.
Careful. That enemy's immune.
Okay, so here we have 2 new enemies. We have, first, got to check and see if that line, because those are new lines that we're hearing for the first time, so I've got to mark those down. I've just about got every line. So we got a consistency relic, weak to darkness, strong against physical, found on the first 2 floors. And we have inviting Niogo, weak to fire. This guy's notes are starting to get inconsistent. It says here weak to fire, but also says nullifies fire and repels wind. How can you be weak to fire but nullify fire? But it is weak to fire, and it's found on floors 1 and 2. So these enemies are found on the first 2 floors.
Your weakness is it's weak to fire. This'll be easy. It's over. There. Please come again.
Okay, so next we have
Enemies immune to wind. Wow, it's puny. This'll be cake.
Insolent Basalt. These are weak to wind, strong against fire and ice, and repels electric. They're found on the first 2 floors.
Risette scan. Wind will work on it. Go to town, guys.
Two to go. We can do this.
Just 2 left. Come on, this fight's not over. Persona! There! There's no end to this. Have I gotten a little stronger?
Alright, next new enemy here. The blue ones are Source Basalt, I believe.
Electricity.
Yes, Source Basalt. They are weak to fire.
It'll be over in
They're
a
strong
flash.
against electric and wind, and repel ice, also found on the first 2 floors.
4 enemies left. Don't give up.
Let's go, Susanoo!
3 enemies defeated. Go Yosuke Senpai.
So again,
Risette scan.
okay,
This one's a gimme. It's
I've
immune to
found something out. Okay, probably the repels ice. That's not going to work. I found, if I'm guarding like that, okay, I'm trying to get to Yukiko. But for, again, anyone new to this walkthrough, this is your first video. The reason that there's a pause after Risette talks is I've got a checklist, link in the description to get that same checklist. And I am adding a check mark to lines that I'm hearing for the first time. During this dungeon, I got about 6 or so lines that are not in the checklist. So the person who put this checklist down, there are lines that they did not get. Let's see, 7 lines. I got 7 lines that are not on the checklist at all, and I had to add them in. So you can get some lines that you've never heard before. In fact, in some spots they have a blank spot for a line because the person who made this checklist never got the line.
Don't give up.
So this checklist that's in the description is not a full list. Flattering Halibri is weak to ice, as you see. Strong against light and dark and nullifies fire. Only found on the first 2 floors.
Whoa, Chase. That's 2 defeated.
So the checklist is not every single line she could ever say. So if you are running through the checklist, you know it's a line from navigation and you can't find it, there is a spot where you can add the line and add that up. But as I said, at the end of the next video, we will be at 190, was it 191 or 192? 192. So we're about 58 lines away from having hardcore Risette fan. So, and again, we're on beginner. So for anyone who ever tells you you cannot get this trophy on beginner, I am proving you wrong. You have to put extra effort into it. These are royal dancers. They have no weakness. They resist fire, ice, and electric. They're found on floors 1 and 2. On the first 2 floors, there are 2 enemies that we could have run into that I don't think I ever ran into. Rainy Brother and Rainy Sister. I don't think I ever ran into either one of those. Brother is weak to electric, drains physical fire, ice, and wind, and nullifies light and dark. Sister is weak to fire, drains every physical, electric, ice, and wind, nullifies light and dark. I never fought either one of those. I wish to God I had, because I might have gotten a line that I am missing for enemies being immune to ice. Alright, so if I'm hesitating that long, then I'm adding a line.
The winner takes it all! Yes, I leveled up!
Okay, Red Shadow is usually a Mighty Beast. Mighty Beast is weak to ice and light, strong against wind, repels dark. Only found on the second floor. I can already tell you that that's bullshit. We're getting at a point where my notes are not correct. I think this guy was getting tired of writing this, because there are some inconsistencies, and we especially see them around here. If I'm taking this long to make a decision, I think she said a line that is not in my checklist, so I had to type it out. Okay. There may be another enemy that I never faced that I don't remember this name. Rainbow Twins. They're weak to ice, repels light, drains electric, found on floors 2 and 7. I don't recall ever facing a Rainbow Twin. Now, as far as skill cards, if you recall, there is a trophy for giving Marie 100 skill cards. We're over 50. We're maybe about 56 or 57, 60 at the most. So we're definitely over halfway on that trophy. Still got some work to do. So obviously at this point, if it comes to a choice of anything or a skill card, I'm getting the skill card. Okay, here we have the Opulent Hand. Now, Opulent Hand does not show up on my list here at all, but it does seem to have a one form of counterattack.
Yikes, hang in there, you'll
Now, a trick that I ended up using a little bit later, and I wish that Risette had said something. There is lines that Risette will say if you get knocked down from missing an attack. She may have actually said it. That's why I'm paused here, looking for it. So there's a line she will say for each character that gets knocked over from missing an attack. There is a line for each character getting knocked down by being hit by their weakness or a critical. And there is a line for a character getting hit while knocked down, thus making them dizzy. I need those lines. There are lines for hitting an enemy's weakness, knocking them down but not killing them. Problem is, she also has lines for each character knocking enemies down, and she tends to say those lines instead of the weakness. There also seems to be a line for hitting an enemy with their weakness while they're knocked down. However, if you end up killing them, she tends to default to the lines for killing an enemy. So some lines are a little tricky to get. But we're getting to a point where if I can start getting people with the new character that we're about to get, I'm going to have a number of lines that I can get for them. And then if I can start getting them hit with conditions or have their stats lowered, then we've got the trophy. It'll be no problem. Yeah, there's a critical hit. They've enraged themselves, which means they're not going to run away. The problem is they've got that counter, and there was one that I fought one of these things. They enraged themselves, and then they countered all 4 of us hitting them one after another, just like that. It's just it was just you got countered, Yosuke got countered, Chie got countered, Yukiko got countered, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. It's a 20% at best. It's not going to work like that. Alright, so I was hoping for maybe a skill card. Basically, at this point, I'm going for personas. I'm going skill cards, then personas, and then chests, then money. I'm actually at a point where I do not give a shit about experience. As I said, long before I even get to the end of this dungeon, every single character learns all their skills. We're done. We're not at level 99. We're about level 80, but we're pretty much not giving a shit about experience, except for maybe leveling up some personas on the main character. Unlike Persona 3 Portable, it does seem that everybody learns all their skills with their default persona, and even if you evolve them, they don't learn new skills. They'll just learn that one skill that helps them against their weakness. Is this floor 4? Yes, Risette. Can't tell which floor this is. Okay, this may be floor 3. We have new enemies. These are weak to ice. I remember that. What are they called? Flowing sand. Weak to ice, repels fire, wind, and electric. I actually take advantage. I think I take advantage of this to get some lines. They are found on floors 3 and 4. If I don't take advantage of it here, I do know there's going to be a couple of fights where I'm taking advantage of the enemy's repelling attacks to get some of my characters knocked out so that I can get lines. And I know at least 1 or 2 of those battles will be shown in this walkthrough. Nope, I went ahead and just killed them with Chie. I could have easily had Yukiko kill herself by having her fire spells reflected back at her. Cannot have the wind reflected back at Yosuke, because once their persona evolves, they are immune to the damage type that they use. So Chie cannot be hurt by ice anymore. Yosuke cannot be hurt by wind anymore. So if you're going to go that route to try and get people KO'd for lines, you need to do it before their personas evolve. Alright, so we have another new enemy. It's weak to electric, but I forget its name. After I check to see if that line is on my checklist. Okay, these are shallow okinas. Weak to electric, they drain wind, repel dark, nullify light. They're only found on floors 3 and 4. This dungeon, palace, laboratory, whatever you want to call it, is actually quite short compared to the last few that we've been through. Everything else has been done in 10 floors. This one is 8 floors. And that's counting the boss chamber. So this one is actually a pretty small floor, but it does have a little trick to it that's going to make it a little bit longer. Alright, so checking on a line, she said. So again, apologize if it's a little delay, but I'm checking that checklist because I'm getting closer and closer to that trophy. If we get that trophy, it's pretty much guaranteed plat. After the hell I had with the line similar trophy for Persona 5, yeah, I'm making sure I've got these lines said. And that's one thing about 5 is I wish there had been a fucking checklist like this. There was not, or at least not one that I could find. Alright, so we got 2 new enemies here.
Enemies immune to wind.
Okay, we have Furious Gigas, no weaknesses, repels fire and wind. I'm going to use this battle to knock out Yukiko for lines. I remember that. And we have Red Sigil, weak to ice, strong against electric, drains fire, nullifies light. So, yeah, I'm going to use this opportunity. I'm 99% sure this is a battle where I'm going to have Yukiko have her fire spells shot back at her. In fact, this is why I'm going in here to get healing items. I am going to heal Yukiko a little bit because I just want to get under the 50% right now. I may have already have the line for her being knocked out. I can't remember if she was part of that Reaper battle or not. I know Chie, we have that. The ones that we don't have knockout lines, we are going to take advantage of that later. But yeah, basically I'm healing Yukiko so that she won't get KO'd.
Go, Senpai, go! Kick their ass! Thank you.
Alright, so here we go with trying to lower her HP.
Yukiko-senpai.
There we go. Checking that line. Can't tell you if that was a new line or not, because probably was, but there are 2 lines for every character, for one for being knocked below 50%, and then there's another line as we continue the battle where Risette basically begs us to heal that character.
Someone else's turn.
Shouldn't someone heal Yukiko-senpai? Oof, that looked like it hurt. It's over.
Okay, we are now trying to kill Yukiko. There is a better way to knock characters out, and that's coming up in this dungeon that I take advantage for all characters that have not been knocked out. So I hadn't knocked out Yukiko yet.
Enemy to go.
We'll go ahead now and revive her, and then we're going to go ahead and end the battle.
Someone finish it off! Persona! There!
Okay, another new battle.
Darkness won't work.
Let's Let me see. Checking on that line. Dogmatic Tower, weak to wind, resists physical, repels fire and electric. If we had kanji, we would do the same trick, only found on floors 3 and 4. We get kanji with a better way. There is a much better way that everyone can get knocked out by. I do have to change my main character's personas because his current persona is immune to that way. Hello, Zoe.
You're on a roll, Senpai. 2 defeated.
Okay,
I'll do a quick scan.
important here. These power castles. First off, they are weak to wind, but there are 2 enemies that we need to actually farm a little bit. Those Furious Gigas, the enemies that we were reflecting fire off of, we need to get 3 Proof of Passions off of those. And then these things, power castles, you need to get 8 power rocks off of them. We're going to need those for some requests in the future. So make sure you have those before you fight the boss. Power castles are weak to wind. I'm looking for them in the list here so I can tell you their strengths. And I don't even see them in the list. Oh, there they are. Nullifies electric, repels physical. Okay, floor 4. Very important here. This is part of what makes this dungeon about as long as the others. You will come to a door that you cannot open. You need a key. That key is found later in the dungeon. And you will have to come back to floor 4 to open that door to be able to go past another door.
Uh-oh, that one's immune to
Alright, new enemy. These are, as soon as I check the line on the checklist, yeah, whenever I'm trying to go do the walkthrough, it's not very interesting, is it? Calm down, Zoe. Wild Drive. Weak to electricity, strong against physical, repels ice. Only found on floor 5.
3 of them. Don't give up now, okay? That's your weaknesses. It's so puny. Use electricity on it.
Persona!
You're on a roll, Senpai.
You're doing well.
2 defeated.
Alright, we have two new enemies. This is a Wicked Turret, obviously weak to electricity, strong against physical, repels ice. We also have Mind Dice. I've got to find them on my list right there. Weak to light and dark, nullifies physical. So, while the turret is weak to electric, everything is weak to light. So, let's just use... do I have one? Do I have one? If I don't have one, that makes this harder. Ah, no, I want Mahama. There we go. Mahama. That will kill them all. Yeah, as soon as we switch the persona, you see she's scanned and says, oh yeah, hey, this is weak to light. Yeah, so is the other one. About the only immunity lines I have not heard from her is an enemy immune to light. I've run into enemies that are immune to everything else, and I've gotten all the lines for those, but I've not gotten the immunity line for light. Okay, next we have... here's what we are looking for.
That one's immune to darkness.
This thing right here, this new enemy, reflects physical attacks back. This is what I use to get my KO lines for characters. Fail Gene. No weaknesses, but repels physical. Found on floors 5 and 6. So especially whenever I go back to make personas and come back and switch party members, I will have Teddy and Kanji be knocked out by this as well. But in this battle, we're going to get the 2 KO lines for the main character. He is the only character that has 2 lines for being knocked out from Risette. So you'll want to get him knocked out twice. If you are playing on a higher difficulty than beginner, game over. I don't know if the line counts. So you really want to be playing on beginner at this point to get these 2 lines for sure. So first thing I want to do is get rid of the 2 enemies in the back. And meanwhile, I'm going to use physical attack to get hit. But Thor is immune, has immunity to physical attacks, so that does not help. Looks like Yosuke needs to be... Ooh! Yeah, that works. Ow. Alright, so I don't need Chie knocked out. We've got all her lines. We've got Yukiko's lines, so we're just going to have Yukiko and Chie kill the wild drives. Alright, so this should knock out Yosuke. And then I am going to need to use Persona to something else so that he can be damaged by physical attacks. Alright, so we're going to... Do I go ahead and revive here? Nope, I'm going to go ahead and take out this wild drive.
2 enemies left. Don't lower your guard now.
Alright.
Senpai, you well done.
So, now we want to switch personas. And I think everything else I have is going to take damage from physical. So I'm looking for something that has a pretty strong physical attack that can be countered back to me. Blade of Fury might work. And we are going to have Yukiko does have a revive, so I think we're going to have Yukiko revive him. I don't know why this thing has a skill to put a physical wall up whenever it's already reflecting physical attacks. That's dumb. So yeah, I'm just going to basically have the main character kill himself. Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that. Only thing I can think of why I did that there is I did not get the line that I was wanting. I think I may have gotten a below HP line, below 50% HP, and didn't get the death line. So, okay, so I believe I already had that line, but I'm double checking. Okay, I did. Now, please hit. Thank you. Okay, that is one of the 2 KO lines. There is another one that will be said for him. So this is where I figure out, okay, yes, we do get, just like in Persona 3 on beginner, we get full heal, full SP heal, and just continue the battle as it is. I don't know why I'm having Yosuke attack again. There must be a line that I have not gotten with Yosuke. That's the only thing I can think of. There is a line he just has not gotten. You will forgive my phone. I had to have it on because we had an emergency yesterday and I needed my phone sound up. And I have not remuted it.
Senpai, are you okay?
I think in fact I will do that right now. Yeah. I think that might be the line. If I go to heal him, then I got the line. Yep, that was the line that I needed for Yosuke. So that's why I kept attacking even after he got knocked out, as I was trying to get that line. Now I just need Narukami to die. There we go. That is all the lines for these characters being knocked out. In a little bit, I am going to switch in Teddy and Kanji and have them do get their lines as well for being below 50% and knocked out. And then that's everyone except for our last party member that we get at the end of this dungeon. If you cannot figure out who our last party member is, give me your gamer card and give me your intelligence card, because you don't deserve those. I'm trying not to spoil it, but it's pretty fucking obvious. If you've paid attention to the game, you know how this works. Okay, no other fight will be that long. We have, what fuzz is this? Chaos Fuzz, weak to fire, repels ice, wind, electric, light, and dark. Only found on floor 5. So, with the Fail Gene having no weakness, it's best to just go to Yukiko and have her set them all on fire.
Your weaknesses. This one's a gimme. It's weak to fire. Persona!
Hey, congrats!
Okay, we are on floor, is this 5 or 6? Well, it doesn't matter because we have now come out. And instead of going out of my way to make all the new personas right now, I'm more interested in saving some money. So I only make personas that I can make with what I have gotten. So what we will do is probably in the next dungeon, we will go ahead and build up some money and make all the personas that we can, because at level, I believe it's 91, we can make every persona in the game. Can double check that real quick. 93. 93 is when we can make every persona in the game. And we are in at like 82 or 3 at the end of this dungeon. So we are getting to the point where we can make every persona. Now there are a couple of personas that I could have made in this video and the next that I didn't get because the game decided, oh, you want us to make a mistake. No, I don't. I did end up getting one of the ones that I didn't get because of a mistake, but the other one, I didn't.
over in a flash. You're on a roll, Senpai. 2 defeated. One enemy to go. Keep it up.
More power for me!
Careful, it's immune to electricity.
Someone else's turn.
Your weakness is it's weak to ice. This. There, Soda! Enemy
Hey,
defeated.
not bad
Go
at
for
all.
broke, Teddy. Good going, Teddy.
Keep it up, Ted! Come on down!
Last one. Go for it.
Come on down! Damn it!
Kanji's injured. Come on, suck it up. Physical attack. Wind will work on it. Go to town, guys. It's weak to wind. This'll be a...
This is the locked door of 6. You must get through this door to be able to go up to floor 7. So here we have another new enemy, and immediately scanned. He is weak to physical. This is a fierce Cyclops. Fierce Cyclops. Find it on the list here. Drains fire, nullifies ice, found on floors 5, 6, and 7. Very easy enemy. Mind dice, we already know what they are. So we're just gonna go ahead and use a Mahama on the dice, and I think we end up just getting the Cyclops, yeah. Otherwise I would have just hit it physically. But on floor 6, we do find the key for floor 4. We then go back to floor 4, open the door. We will get the key for floor 6, then we come back up to floor 6 and we can move on. Yeah. Little trick to make this shorter dungeon just as long, if not longer, because you have to go through some floors twice. In fact, just off to the side of the locked door on floor 6 is this chest that contains the research card. This is the card you need for floor 4. It will not open the floor here. Last new enemy. World balance is weak to light and dark. Resists everything else except for Almighty, found on floors 5 and 6. And we are running out of time here, so I'm going to end the commentary here in the video. Drop a like if you're enjoying the walkthrough. Feel free to subscribe for more. If you feel like making a donation to the cause, there's a link in the description to buy me a coffee. Not required. Those that are members gain perks such as being able to help select the next walkthrough. And I will see you guys in the continuation of the laboratory.